Hey, beautiful people of You Are Not Ordinary podcast. Welcome to yet another episode of You Are Not Ordinary podcast. Welcome to episode 14. Thank you for the feedback that I got about last week's episode about the waiting season. Someone asked me that how do I come up with these episodes? And really, for me, I tried writing down like topics and all that, and I did write them for sure. But then every week I talk on what's in my heart. And I believe that sometimes God doesn't put these messages in your heart for nothing, because maybe there's someone who needed to hear that word for that week to keep going. So most of the time I just follow what's in my heart, or maybe what sparked out of maybe a conversation or something I watched, or just really what I've been thinking mostly about. And that's how I come up with these episodes. And I hope and truly hope and truly hope I hope that they bless you in one way or another, or they speak to you. And yeah, I'm really grateful and I'm thankful to God for this platform. Other than that, I was watching this video that really sparked today's conversation. And it was such an interesting video because this guy was talking about how work expects us to be these perfect colleagues, perfect team players and whatnot. Your child expects you to be this good mom, always there, showing up, everything qualities of a good mom. And your partner expects you to be this good partner and everything. Your friend expects you to be this good friend, everything. But he asked a question interestingly at the end of the video. Yes, you're all that. You're a good friend, you're a good partner, you're a good colleague, you're a good team player, everything, you're a good parent. But who are you to yourself? And I think I'd mentioned one time in one of the episodes of us forgetting, maybe like you should forget you're a mom first and put yourself first, or something along those lines. And today's episode is gonna be about that. Like, who are you to yourself? When someone comes and asks you right now, who are you? What are you gonna say? So this video prompted today's discussion on how do we view ourselves? How do we speak to ourselves? Who are we to ourselves? How do we view everything else in our lives, And before I begin, I want to remind you that you are your first love. And most of the time, it's who we are on the inside that radiates to who we are, You can tell a lot by how a person speaks about themselves or how a person speaks to others, So who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? And I definitely know that this is a very broad topic because it's a collection of so much experiences that shape us to who we become. It's a collection of past traumas that have made us who we are. It's a collection of maybe this person talked down on us, or this person made me believe this is who I am, and maybe that's not who you are, And today I want us to break those shells. I want us to break those barriers. I want us to redefine ourselves to who we truly are, to who does God tell us we are, And normally you find different people have different versions of themselves, right? You might find this person has this peaceful, positive, beautiful aura and all that. And then you meet another person who's so bitter, they hate their lives and they're just negative and everything, And at the end of the day, it's up to you to choose who you surround yourself, because again, also environment plays an impact on who we become, right? Let me first touch base on how we talk about ourselves based on what people have made us believe we are, I know people who have had people in their lives that have spoken into them negatively, that have made them to believe that you can't, you're not beautiful, that have made you judge yourself, that have made you think ill or think short of yourselves, The people who've grown in environments where nobody believed in them, where people saw them as failures, where they've been looked down upon because maybe they're not living a certain kind of life and are not in careers that maybe society quote unquote approve. They don't have certain cash flow. Some people have been made a reference as a bad example, like don't hang out with this and so, look at the life of this and so, this and that. Some even have been created like a conventional image that maybe your family is always begging, your family is poor, your family is never gonna progress, and whatnot, and so many other spiteful labels that have been related to your names, to your lives, to your family. And words really do cut deeper than knives. And knives can be removed, right? But words are always embedded in our souls. Some of us, maybe when you were young, your parents told you that, oh, you're never gonna be successful, or you're dumb, or whatever and whatever. And you believed that, it was embedded in your soul. I read a quote that said that parents should be careful with what they say to their children, because that becomes their inner voice. Like, that is so deep, And sometimes all this negative and diminishing self-talk can also be as a result of what you've grown up being labeled, and it also became your inner voice. When people maybe even see you as great, capable, you don't see that because it's not in your lenses. You think you're not enough. When opportunities portray themselves, you shy away from them, or your limiting inner voices creeps out and reminds you that you don't deserve that. You no longer see yourself as beautiful, because even when someone says you're pretty, you're like, oh really, am I? Because you don't see yourself as one. Words, as innocent and powerless as they seem, they are weapons with the power to tear us down or even lift us up. Worst of all is when your words have transpired to your thoughts and they have created this self-limiting belief. A self-limiting belief is bad because they create this core belief that prevent you from reaching your full potential, from seeing yourself as this kind of person. Like, if your everyday dictionary consists of words like, I can't, I don't have this and this, I'm not enough, I can't change this and that, that's not who I am, I come from a family of this and this. Hey. Stop right there, friend. That is a self-limiting belief that you have created within yourself. You are constantly judging yourself, you're constantly putting yourself down, you're constantly criticizing your efforts and inputs. You start even believing that these things are true, because sometimes they're not even true. You just have made them your reality because every time that's what your dictionary says, like, I can't. So what makes you believe that you can, if all the time you're just telling yourself that you can't? And sometimes even this limiting belief, they make you believe that you don't deserve anything and other people deserve everything. You find like you're being very mean to yourself, you're being unkind to yourself, you're not giving yourself grace. But when it comes to other people, you're talking to them kindly, you're treating them with love and whatnot. But when it comes to you, you just become this ugly, spiteful person to yourself. Why not talk to yourself like you would talk to your loved one? Why not talk to yourself like you would love someone else to talk to you? And when you're feeling scared, when you're feeling fearful, you have to remind yourself that very few people ever feel completely ready to start something new, for example. And the key is just to take baby steps, rather than focusing on this perfection or focusing on the end results and whatnot. Just take an action. Give yourself permission to figure things out as you go. Give yourself permission to fail. You start changing your language. Instead of all this, I can't, I'm not worthy, this and this and this. Change the language you use to yourself. When you're not feeling enough, that is a form of self-deprecation. And it often comes out from maybe feelings of insecurities or unworthiness. And if you leave that untreated, it might turn out as self-sabotage, and it can unravel every part of your life, even like your relationship, your career, because you will always be feeling not deserving. So you become this mean person to yourself. You just don't believe anything happens for you. You're always thinking no good things happen to you and whatnot. And remember, in all these feelings, in all these self-depleting emotions, you are not alone. Many people feel like that as well. Many people feel like they don't know how to do something. Many people feel scared. Many people feel unworthy. And sometimes even when it comes to audacious things like finding happiness, changing our lives, being better, being successful, navigating things like motherhood, navigating new seasons of our lives, everyone feels all these emotions. But you have to remember that it's okay to not have all the answers right away. You just have to take it one day at a time, and eventually you'll figure out what works for you. And remember, for you, okay? Because you're viewing your life from your own lenses. You're the one who knows what you've gone through. You're the one who knows what happens behind the closed door. You are you, And listen, everyone has something they're not good at, okay? Even the most influential people in the world. But that doesn't mean that you can't get better at whatever it is maybe you're trying to accomplish. You need to start being kind to yourself. You need to start giving yourself grace. Like when I ask you who you are, start praising yourself. You're this beautiful, you're this intelligent, all those beautiful words, And sometimes the first step to overcoming all these self-sabotaging belief is changing how our internal dialogue looks like, changing the conversations you're having with yourself, because all these conversations you're having with yourself, there's someone listening, and guess who's listening? Yourself. Start cultivating a more compassionate you, like you who forgives your former self for any and all your past mistakes, you who forgive any experiences that have made you maybe feel unworthy. You who forgives people who have made you feel less. You who forgives yourself for maybe not loving yourself better. And once you start doing that, you can start to heal. And it doesn't happen overnight. It might take some time, but eventually you'll start to believe it. And all these components are what makes us who we are, That's why I said it's a broad thing, because who we are, it depends with how you want to define yourself. From what lenses do you want to define yourself? Do you want to define yourself from the career lenses? Do you want to define yourself from the cause, beliefs, or how do you want to define yourself? And all your experiences that you've built up through your life, everything that you've gone through, it's what has shaped you to who you are. These experiences may have given you maybe knowledge about life and lessons. Others have maybe changed how you look at yourself, and all these lessons help you to navigate through life. And no one else has your unique set of experiences apart from you. No one else views life from the same lenses as you. So remember, this is a personal journey. You've got to embrace it to the core and shift the lenses to a clearer perspective, to a clearer vision. And only you have the power to do that, okay? You need to allow yourself to grow, to evolve, to change your identity. Change your identity, Don't get fixated on just one person. Don't get fixated on, oh, my dad told me that I'm ugly. My dad told me that I can't make it, so that's what's gonna define me. No, you can be who and whatever you want to be anytime. You can let go of all those definitions that were given to you, all those names that you were called, all those experiences that you've had they have defined you somehow, or they have altered how you see yourself, all those experiences that have made you maybe have a lower self-esteem, all those experiences that have changed everything about your life. You need to start redefining who you are. I was listening to this one Kenyan influencer, and she was talking about it's okay to change, it's okay to let go and evolve and whatnot. For context, she was talking about her business, that she opened this business, she was in love with this business, she was over the moon in this business, everything revolved around that business, whatnot. She loved it, she was passionate about it and everything. But then over the years, maybe 2 or 3, it came to a point where the business didn't give her fulfillment. It didn't give her joy. And no matter how big her business had succeeded, no matter how much good money it was bringing to her, it was not giving her fulfillment and joy, right? And she decided to let it go despite all that. So who she was when she was starting that business is a different person to who she is now, Things change, You change as a person. Maybe this year, what's giving you joy is football. Next year, you're like, oh, you're not even feeling it, Maybe it's music, it's whatever. It's okay to grow and evolve. So what am I trying to say using that example? It's okay to let go of versions of you that don't serve you anymore. It's okay to let go of that limiting belief that has been holding you back for so long. It's okay to change your career if it's not making you happy and fulfilled, It's okay to change the environment. It's okay to move from a city, from a place, from a house, from friendships, from relationships that are not giving you joy and fulfillment anymore, And all this to say, they all define who you are. They all define who you become. Because let's say maybe this sport used to give you joy, you look forward to it, everything. But once you lose touch with it, you become maybe, like it doesn't give you joy anymore, like there's no life in your face, there's no spark of joy or fulfillment or anything. So why are you holding on to that thing for so long? You know what I mean? So it's making you be this, just doing it for the sake of it. And you don't want to do that, So start speaking a language of love and kindness and acceptance to yourself. Let go of things that make you not see the beauty of who you are. Let go of things that don't give you joy, fulfillment anymore. We are always gonna evolve, and it's okay to let go of old versions that no longer suit the new seasons that we're in. You need to know who you are. You need to first know what defines you. You need to know what makes you happy. You need to do what you value the most. You need to know what triggers you. You need to know what brings you a sense of joy and healing, And you need to start changing like the language you use to yourself. Change your I can't to I can. Believe you're worthy. Believe you're enough. You're beautiful. You're deserving. You can achieve whatever it is that you want to. Your weight, your height, your complexion, your job title, your failures, your flaws, they don't define you. Address yourself as the person you want to become. And surely you will start seeing yourself as that. If it's that environment that's limiting you, pulling you back, change that environment. Create new core values and beliefs for this person that you want to become, okay? It's like, for example, let me give you an example. You are you're a chef and also you're a nurse, Do you think your catering or chef curriculum vitae is the same that you're going to use when you're applying for a job as a nurse? No, it doesn't work like that, The nurse CV will hold different abilities, different experiences, different everything. You're the same person yet, but different seasons, different versions. So if this version is not helping you in the place you are now, let it go, It's okay to let go. It's okay to redefine yourself. It's okay to shut down all the noises. It's okay to heal from all the traumas, all the things that have been holding you down for so long. So my message to you today in summary is be kind to yourself. Let go of all those old limiting self-beliefs that have held you down for damn so long. Give yourself grace as you evolve and grow and become. Remember, you are only human. And if you have lived your life listening to other people define you, define your family, look down on you, felt like you're not seen, I'm sorry it had to be like that, but it's time to regain your power back. It's time to take back the steering wheel of your life and redefine yourself, to shut out all the noises and opinions. And it's time that you use your own map, because you have the power. You are your own person. You know who you are. You know your experiences. You know everything you've been through. So Take your power back, friend, Above all else, above all that we know and think we know, it's okay and it's good to find and remember our identity in Christ Jesus, because he has called us by our names. He has put in us a seed and a purpose. He gave us new life in him. He calls us his children. He tells us we are fearfully and wonderfully made. So let no man tell you what you are, what you can do, what you can't do, because God tells you can do everything through Christ who gives us strength, right? So power of your words, power of who you see yourself as, and redefine yourself. When I ask you today, who are you? Who are you? Who are you? What are you going to say, And yeah, with that, I'm just wishing you the best of luck and blessings in navigating life. Remember, life is not a bed of roses. Some days you'll be confident. Some days you'll be unstoppable. Some days you'll feel empty, and all that is okay. So don't be hard on yourself. Some days you'll feel like this, this person. Some days you'll remember those small voices creeping in your mind and telling you you can't, but you just have to shut them. You just have to shut them. You just have to redefine yourself. And yeah, love yourself, guys, and own who you are. Remember, you are unique as you are. You are beautiful in your own way, and yeah, remember that. Okay. Alrighty, so I'm wishing you a blessed week ahead, guys. Who are you? Okay, who are you? Ask yourself, who are you? Apart from you being a doctor, a nurse, a footballer, a chef, or whatever, your career, I'm a partner, I'm a wife, I'm a mom, I'm a whatever. Who are you? Okay? Love you guys so much. And again, thank you for always being here. And I hope this episode blesses you. Thank you.